Hey, it's Raw to the Bone, and this is Coffee with Friends, y'all. That is right. What is today's vibes?
Yo, remember back on the bully when cats used to harmonize like, yo, my men and my women, don't forget about the day. Listen, I'm the most the king, yo. It's about a
These are the vibes this morning. Y'all know what that is. Oh, wait. Let me make sure my sound is good. Let me make sure. All right. Hey, Jello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm waiting for others to join so that I can continue to give them my vibes. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Let me just go to Facebook real quick because y'all know I got to do this every morning as we are gathering. Good morning, Tune, Twist Shop. Oh, just make sure that it is public, and then let me update. Hey, Tammy. Good morning. Good morning. We're joining. We're coming in. We're coming in. Just come in, guys. Don't pay me no mind. I'm just getting my morning ready. That is it, and that is all. Come on in. Hey, one reliable sin. Good morning. Good morning. Come on in. I had to make sure Facebook was good. Now it's good. All right. And I had to make sure. I know YouTube is good. I know YouTube is good. All right. Just give me a second. Let me go back to my podcast screen so I can have everything under control. Good morning. Good morning. These are the vibes. Today is Tuesday, y'all, because we had Monday off.
3 weeks since you were looking for your friend, the one you let hit it and never called you again.
Hey, Hearts of Fire. That is the Lauryn Hill that I miss. All right. That is the Lauryn Hill that I absolutely. Oh, wait. Oh. I thought I was trying to mess up my little bun here. But that is the Lauryn Hill that I absolutely miss, right? When you go to Lauryn Hill concerts now, you see her live. She doesn't sing the songs, the throwback songs. We talked about this a little bit last week, right? Something in her contract that prevents her from singing the older songs, the original songs, the songs that we know her to be great at, right? And so, I never really connected with the new Lauryn Hill, right? The new, she's talented, I'm sure. But I guess if she would be on time to these concerts, I might think a little bit different. Let's see who's on YouTube. Good morning, Mika. Good morning, Mother. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. What did everybody do for the long weekend? I'm assuming that everybody on here had yesterday off. What did you guys do for the long weekend? I mean, my weekend was filled. It was filled, y'all. It was filled. Let me think. Saturday morning, I got up. Yup. Yup. Right. One reliable said the Marleys had her fucked up. That Rastapine. I agree with that. Hey, Glamour 47. Yeah, she was never the same after coming out of that relationship, right? The fuck. What did y'all do this weekend? So for me, Saturday, I hiked it up to my old stomping grounds, y'all, Sparta, New Jersey, where Double Team Athletics resides. All right. So I took a dive into Double Team Athletics, aka Coach Donovan and Damaris, who are both members of Coffee with Friends. I took a journey. Good morning, Rashmi. Good morning. I took a journey to their house on Saturday, and oh, excuse me, y'all. And I took a COVID test too. I finally used one of those Get your coffee or your tea. I finally used one of those home tests, y'all. The home COVID test. My shit was negative. So I'm still COVID free, y'all. I got a trip coming up in 11 days. Today, officially, I am minimizing the people that I am around starting today, right? I have my normal activities. I pick my grandson up from school, right? AG and I go to the store, pick up a couple of things. I'm even limiting my trips to the store. Today might be the last day or one of the last days that I hike it out to the store if I go today, right? I'm 11 days out from Jamaica. So this weekend was a fun-filled weekend. My last before I go away. So Saturday, hey Coach Donovan, I was just talking about you. So Saturday, I hiked it up. Good morning, protagonist. Hiked it up to Sparta, New Jersey, my old stomping grounds. The crazy thing is, y'all, when I was driving up there, that's where I built my first house, right? That was, one of my longest relationships that I was in. When I was driving up to Sparta, New Jersey, all the memories and everything came back about how I lived, And I didn't think about the bad shit. It was all the good shit, the fun times we used to have, right? And so I made it to Coach Donovan and Damaris's house in Sparta and drove up that long ass driveway, right? But baby, I got in the house and this motherfucker, Coach Donovan, worked me the fuck out. Y'all saw the video? Like, we friends, okay? Like, no, 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 fuck that. We family. We are family. And this motherfucker worked me out like I was his enemy. The fuck? Y'all saw that workout? Y'all would have thought I worked out with him on a regular basis with the shit he had me doing. So listen, if y'all really want y'all bodies, my body's calling. You really want your body in shape? You better go follow Double Team Athletics on IG. Okay, because they worked me the fuck out. I literally died 4 times. I died 4 times. And not only that, I got nauseous. Not really nauseous, just a teeny bit nauseous, Coach Donovan. I was surprised. I didn't get full out nauseous, but I did get lightheaded. But that was my fault because every time I stopped exercising, I put my head down. One of the rules when you're working out, that's right, give me those hearts. I like the hearts. When you're working out, right? You're never supposed to put your head down. You're supposed to keep your head up, right? Keep focused. But every time I needed to catch my breath, I bent all the way over and had my head down. So when I picked my head back up, I got dizzy. Not supposed to do that, y'all. All right. So I'm giving y'all a warning out front. So Saturday I spent an hour training with Coach Donovan in these circuits. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how many circuits there were, but there were 1 minute exercises within each circuit. I was fucking dead an hour. Okay. All right. But then after the workout was done, y'all know, I'm not leaving. They knew I wasn't leaving the house after the workout was done, right? I had to turn around. Wait. After the workout was done, let me not say I went right into drinking. Damaris made us some crepes from scratch. She pulled out her blender, mixed it up, had her cookbook shit out, made us some crepes. It was good. I had one crepe. That's all I needed. I don't know, Coach Donovan, how much time after that did I last before I pulled out my bottle, my whiskey? The fuck? I pulled out my whiskey, and let me tell y'all, I don't know what the fuck happened. This is the normal shenanigans in Sparta, New Jersey that I be talking about. Okay. I mean, we got pictures to prove it, but we don't share those pictures publicly, you know, right? But the shenanigans started. Okay. And the funny shit is all three of us was drinking something different. I was drinking Jack whiskey. Okay. the apple flavor, but I was drinking it straight up. Oh, I waited 2 hours. Okay, Coach Donovan, I waited 2 hours. That's good for me because that on vacation, I'm walking from the gym with a drink in my hand. You already know that, Coach Donovan. You know I don't wait, right? And so 2 hours I waited. I pulled out my bottle. Damaris had her bottle. Okay, y'all talk about me. She had the big bottle of Ciroc mango. And she drinked out on the rocks because at the same time we watching our weight, so we not mixing our drink with juice, y'all. We got to go the low calorie route. Okay, I drink my whiskey, heat, no ice. It depends. It depends on the whiskey. If it's a whiskey that's gonna burn my chest, I need a cube, right? But normally I drink it neat, like neat, right? With just that. No ice, just straight. So we're drinking, right? Next minute we fucked all the way up. What time we went to bed, Coach Donovan? The fuck? That was my Saturday. Then Sunday rolled around. Now I asked y'all what y'all do for the weekend. Sunday rolled around and I went, hey, AG photography, on time. I went out with AG. AG was my date Sunday night, or I was his date since he invited me, okay, to his cousin's 40th birthday party. Okay. And so we did that at Anton's in Queens. You know, that shit is still there. Who remembers Anton's in Queens? Oh, about one-ish. Okay, we went to bed about one-ish. Who remembers Anton's in Queens? We went there. The place is still standing, y'all. That's that old Italian money, right? That's that old Italian money. Hey, Gilda Smith, good morning. That's that old Italian money. So we went to Anton, celebrated her 40th birthday. And what I loved about the 40th birthday, she required everyone to take a COVID test. So that was the first time I used my at-home COVID test. And as I said, I was negative. I carried my COVID test with me to the event. I loved it because she only invited her intimate friends and family. It was a small crowd. With COVID, we can't party like we can party like we used to, but it's a risk, right? And so I love the fact that she was careful with the amount of people she invited. I love the fact that she asked us to take COVID tests. Okay, all right. And so we knew that at least the people in the room were negative. That was a good thing. And the waitresses and the bartenders, they kept their mask on, right? And so there was a sense of, it felt like it was a little bit freeing for me to be able to party and know that everybody in there took their test, right? I know it's annoying to have to go take a COVID test, but I did use one of my home COVID tests that I ordered. It was very easy to use. Grand Rising, Cheryl Lee, Grand Rising. Good morning. Glamour said, I went to many events there. I'm telling you, Anton's is still standing. Hearts of Fire said, I tried supporting Black business while Netflixing. Wait, okay. Did you have a great experience with that, Hearts of Fire? Did you have a great experience? AG said you was a dance machine. Listen, I danced on the carpet. I did go on the floor a couple of times, but I stayed on the carpet because, during the pandemic, I hadn't worn heels. I've only worn heels maybe 3 times since the pandemic. So my legs are like, bitch. Mm. Especially my left knee. My left knee is like, bitch, you trying to do this again? And I'm like, yes, baby, because I got shoes in my closet. I got to do this. I got to do the high heel shoes. And so I danced on the carpet most times. Hey, Natalia. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Then I went on the dance floor a couple of times, but then I put my flats on. Then it was bust wide open. The fuck. I had a great time. So thank you, AG, for inviting me, and Pumpkin for extending the invitation. I really appreciate it. I had a great time. What the fuck did I do on Monday? Baby, Monday, I wanted to rest, but nope. I got in my car and I drove to Edison, New Jersey, which is about 45 minutes from my house. No traffic. Edison, New Jersey, to eat at Harold's Deli. Harold's New York Deli. Yes, that's right. They're in New Jersey. They have a couple of locations in New Jersey. They have one in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, which is close to us. So, AG, you and I have to make a date to go to the one in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. But that shit was the bomb. I went to this place. I got invited by my coworker. Yes, I still hang with my coworkers, y'all. I've always hung with my coworkers. And this particular time, I wanted to meet my coworker's wife, right? Because I'm always on the phone. Anybody that knows me, anybody that's been around me when I'm working, right? And my boss or coworkers call me. Y'all have heard the name Quack. Hey Quack. Hi Quack Chan. That is my coworker Quack. And he is the bomb. Okay. And so his wife and I chat over the phone, through Quack, of course, like we all just chatting on the phone. And so I finally got to meet her yesterday. So I drove to Edison. We met up. We had great time. But let me tell y'all something. Yes, pastrami. Hey, Veronica Madison. Hey, Fire One. But let me tell y'all something about Harold's Deli. Quack ordered. I love a man that gets to the table and just orders. I love that. That's so sexy to me when a man just sits down. It don't matter whether I'm your girl or your wife's friend. He ordered for the table. He ordered one large pastrami sandwich, just one large pastrami sandwich. He ordered short ribs. Okay, I didn't eat the ribs, right? But he ordered the ribs and he ordered one large pastrami sandwich. Also, they brought to the table all this extra rye bread, right? Because the pastrami sandwich was huge. And then they brought you the extra rye bread. They brought you pickles, coleslaw, another type of salad, and they brought you extra mustard. That's all he ordered for the table. One large pastrami, ribs and ribs. Baby, I brought home half of the pastrami sandwich. All three of us ate off of one half of the pastrami. We took the meat, took our own little bread, made our sandwiches, and I took home a whole half a sandwich. Y'all know how much the bill was? Hey, Damaris, do y'all want to know how much that freaking bill was? $113. $113 for one large pastrami sandwich and some ribs, y'all. It was good, though. It was good as fuck. I'm telling you, Veronica, and the thing is, they said Harold's and Katz, same company. I didn't know that. I have to research that because all this time I would get, like in the summer times when I was married, my husband and I used to get on the bus. I love to get on the bus or drive to the city and park, but I love to navigate around the city on foot. And no damn drinks. Oh, what the I had a black cherry soda. Does that count? They had a Coke and a Sprite. Those are the drinks we had. $113. Okay. He treated. I appreciated it. Right. But I would have pulled out my money. I always go with money. Right. But he treated and I appreciate it. Okay. Yeah. Coach Donovan, I got to come back. I got to come back because I can't get such a good workout and then not come back for a workout. No, I'm serious. I need to put a schedule together, Coach Donovan, and make my way to work out there for real. Like, get a good workout in for real. So let's talk about that because that workout was so good. My legs are still sore, but guess what, guys? I still got on that Peloton yesterday. I tried never to skip a Monday. I got on that Peloton yesterday. My legs and my ass was on fucking fire from the workout, the circuit training I had with Coach Donovan, double team athletics, but I still got on. Monday, after the pastrami, I slept the rest of the fucking day. That is what I did this weekend. And here's the vibe.
Told you he was about to Benjamins. You act like you ain't him, they give him a little trends. It began. Now you think you really gonna pretend like you wasn't that.
All right, y'all. Those are the vibes today. Lauryn Hill, what the fuck is the topic today? Let's go over here and see what the topic is. This was a requested topic, okay, from Coffee with Friends member. And I love this topic because many of you might not have teenagers on here, but many of you were teenagers. So I don't want to hear none of y'all say that you don't know nothing about teenagers, okay? For those on YouTube and Facebook, I am sharing the topic today. Do you like your teenage children? Do you like your teenage children? Are they disrespectful? How do you manage? What are some of the issues? Your teenage children. Listen, we come on here, we talk about a lot of things. Somebody on Coffee with Friends wanted to talk about, y'all heard her. She said she wanted to talk about disrespectful teenage children. Do y'all like y'all teenage kids? You know, this is really a, this topic touched me. When she said, can we talk about, do you like your teenage children? Wow. Let me just sip my shit here because let me sip this. I'm drinking ginger tea this morning, y'all, because I ran out of cream. And I can't disrespect my coffee by not having the cream. But do you like your disrespectful children? This topic to me touched me because y'all know I love my son, right? And for those that know me and that have been with me throughout the journey of me raising my kid, y'all know my motto was, don't fuck with him, I will cut you. I will fuck somebody. I would have fucked somebody up over my son. I don't give a fuck whether he was wrong. Don't come for him. That's it, and that's all. I lived by that motto. I cut motherfuckers off, put my sneakers on and my sweats over my kid. True story. True motherfucking story. But baby, I didn't like his ass. You know, and as a parent, no, this is serious, y'all. This might be one of those mornings you get a teardrop out of me. Right? Hearts of Fire done started some shit because this is one of them topics that I didn't like my kids, y'all. I didn't. I didn't. You know, it was one of the worst experiences for me as a mom, raising a teenager. This motherfucker was like raising 10 kids. He ran a hole through me, y'all. And I cried many a days and many a nights over the disrespect of raising, of the experience that I had raising a teenager. Like, I didn't know, like, where my life is today and where my son is today. I didn't know we were going to get here, y'all. I was scared. Y'all know my son did 2 bids in the Hooskow. He was the motherfucker that I got called from work all the time because the popo had him. Stupid shit. Smoking weed outside. You know, he was the motherfucker that the truancy officer should have came for but didn't. Right? I mean, I did not like my son at all. And it was one of the most guilty feelings that I had to live with. I'm coming hard to fire. It was one of the most guilty feelings I lived with for many, many years. I can't even tell y'all some of the thoughts that I've had while raising my son. I love him, but I did not like him. Okay. Hey, Soulful BBW. Hey, Madison. Okay. Hey, Damaris. Damaris said, nope. They were bomb, Tally. They were. Great topic. Let's start off by this Generation X is on some different shit. Yes, Soulful BBW. I always tell him that I love him, but I don't like him. Exactly. And Damaris and Donovan, y'all know, y'all were witnesses to what I've been through. Y'all were witnesses. But I always stood by him. Right? Hey, Yoga Girl side, let's bring Hearts of Fire on because this is a deep conversation. A lot of motherfuckers don't like their kids. And y'all better not make people feel bad for not liking their kids. We said we love them motherfuckers. We just didn't like them. Let's see what she got to say. Okay, because baby, my son ripped me a new asshole. I felt like I was raising 10 kids. I really struggled with that. Good morning, Hearts of Fire. Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Everybody had a good weekend. Happy Tuesday. I'm at work, so I can't talk too long or too loud. So okay. I brought up that topic. I'm glad you addressed it because I got a teenager. Well, you know, I have older kids. I have 5 kids altogether, 4 adults and 1 teenager. And I'm telling you, my thoughts and them are coming in right now. I'm gonna keep on talking, but the thing is, with teenagers, is so very hard. Good morning. It is so very hard. I got one teenager at home who is a scholar. She has full scholarships being offered to her, and she's a good kid, but fresh at the mouth. Oh my God, I don't know what's wrong with these teens. It was my mother would have choked by now. But I'm trying to have the patience that I didn't have before. Sometimes I just want to choke the crap out of her. Now, she goes to Rutgers, you know, part-time in between her schoolwork. She works 2 jobs. And so I say to you that she's really not a bad kid.
That sounds like a good kid.
Yeah, but she tries to be fresh with me. You know, with the mouth and this and that and the other. Just totally disrespectful. Like when she comes in, it's not even a hello. So I just look at her. So the old me would want to lay hands on her, for real. But I don't. I just look at her and say in my heart, you know, God, I know I did something good, you know, because she's on the right path as far as school-wise.
Yes.
But the mouth, baby, you know, I've seen kids that really disrespect their parents in the street. And so then my question is, as a society, how does that happen? Where does that come from? Now, my kids, other kids, they protect her. Oh, my, she's a good kid. She's asking you to do, you know, what you told her to do, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I never disclosed to them that I've found weed in her thing. I found other little paraphernalias. The other day I came home on the top of my deep freezer, which I confronted her about. And I told her that if she messes up these scholarships that she has supposed to go in Iowa, and I can't wait for her to go away because I need like a little breather. I told her there was going to be nothing to separate me from her scalp. I found the pregnancy test, you know, that she had left behind. Meanwhile, she had not long ago died. So, I'm having a difficult battle right now. Do I want to beat her up at times? Yes. I think like 90% of the time. Is she a good kid most of the time? Good morning. Yes, she is. Because of the grades and blah, blah, blah. She's not hanging out in the street. She's working 2 jobs. So I'm at a point in my life, you know, I said before, I'm, you know, into my spirituality, trying to be a little bit more spiritual with myself. I'm older.
Yeah.
Raising a teenage kid. So I'm trying to have the patience that I didn't have, you know, but I don't like.
Yeah,
I really do not like.
I understand.
Truth is sharp as a serpent, you know, and they say whatever they want, do whatever they want. And I was reading something, but we'll go back to it later. I want other people to make comments,
yep,
you know, on how they feel about teenagers, but. You know, I just really feel like we should just all beat their asses. You see a teenager acting up with their parent in the street, let's just jump them.
I agree.
Let's just jump them.
I agree.
I'm sick of their asses. So that's my dilemma with my teenager. I don't even speak to her when I come into the house.
Okay.
I just look at her, and that's it. But I'm going to go because, you know, I'm at.
I know, baby. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Okay. Wow. So the teenager that works, right? Works 2 jobs, goes to school, but is disrespectful to their mom. Like a lot of times we'll be like, you know, you saw the first thing I said. The first thing I said was, dang, this teenager works 2 jobs and goes to school. That's a good kid, right? But then on top of that, Heart to Fire said, no, because she come in the house, she don't fucking speak. She's disrespectful. I found weed. I found pregnancy tests. But let's talk about that for a minute, right? Weed. How many people get mad when they find weed in their teenagers' stuff? Like, I remember going through my son's stuff. We lived in South Brunswick, and we had a 3-level townhouse apartment, right? And his room was on the top level, the loft, okay? I never forget. I used to go in his room. I was that gangster mom. I flipped mattresses and shit. I didn't want to be the parent that had the Columbine kid, the one that had the guns and the shit like that in the house. I wanted to know what the fuck you had. But the things that I found in my son's room were not Columbine-ish, okay? I found the sneaker boxes and the Timberland boxes full of weed paraphernalia, like the cigar shits that they empty out and they you know, prep to roll their weed. I found shit like that. I didn't even get mad at that. Right? Because I knew my son smoked weed. I got mad at the fact that why don't you throw the shit in the garbage? Right? That was number one. Number two, I didn't want him to smoke weed. Let's get that clear. But there's just some battles that I couldn't fucking fight. I was trying to keep him out of the fuck jail. That was the first thing. The second thing I used to find in his room is like porn or pictures of females that he was dating or pictures of females and him having sex that they took pictures of each other. Listen, I used to find shit like that. I was that type of mom. But I didn't get mad over the weed. So let me go over before I continue to talk. Let me go over and read some comments from YouTube. Cheryl Lee said, loving and liking sometimes had to be separated. Yes. Rashmi said, my mother used to tell me she loved me, but didn't like me. But I never understood that because I was a very unproblematic child. That comes from a different place, I think, Rashmi. I'm not a therapist. And I'm not a certified life coach, but that comes from a different place. That sounds like what you're saying, Rashmi. And again, this is just my opinion, and they're like assholes, right? What you're saying, Rashmi, to me sounds like something is more so on your mother's side, right? It's more so something within her as to why she doesn't like you. If you are not a problematic child, there's something in her that she needs to deal with. It has nothing to do with you. That's just my opinion, right? But Pat said, I do not have any children, but I have nieces and nephews. But beyond having kids, y'all, weren't y'all teenagers? Like, this is not one of those topics that y'all can escape from and go, I don't have any teenagers, so this topic is not for me. No, you were a teenager. Did your mama like you? Is my mama on here? Did you like me as a teenager? No. No. My mother didn't like me as a teenager. I don't think she did. I got put the fuck out. I mean, me and my mother are close as peas in a pod today, but it was rough. Just be honest. And I wasn't a problematic child either. But my mama, I don't think liked me. Why we don't like our teenage kids? I feel like I have a right. I have real excuse not to like my kid. Okay, so Pat said, but I have nieces and nephews. They all have been very respectful toward me. They were a joy and fun. It's not the same when it's your nieces and nephews, right? Let me go up. Hey, Uhu. Hey, Theo, good morning. Kiss the Boy says, I love both of my teenagers, but I don't get along with one. One is angelic. The other wants me to box her up, but she is genius or a mastermind criminal. Most of them fucking criminals are masterminds. Shit. Veronica said, does she have a boyfriend and sexually active? That question is for Heart to Fire. Obviously, there was a pregnancy test, right? So we want to say yes. She's sexually active, right? I think Heart to Fire mentioned that she found a pregnancy test, okay? Veronica said, when they are mad at you, you are doing your job. I know you're tired, but the disrespect can't happen. If you stay here, you're saving her from herself. Listen, Veronica Madison, that is great advice. It is. But let me tell you something. This is the one thing that I remember my girlfriend Doris saying to me. Yep, I'm calling names, right? Because when she was raising her child, her daughter was young. And at that time, my son was at that preteen, 12, 13, whatever. And some of the shit that I used to go through, she didn't understand it. She was like, no, you should do this. And you should do, and I wouldn't do that. And I wouldn't do this. And I always said to motherfuckers, when you are in the shoe, baby, the leather feels different. Right? And so when her child got older, she started to call me on the phone and go, ooh, I understand. I now know. I now look back and I now fucking know, because people are so quick to give you advice and tell you how to raise your kids and tell you all the fucked up shit you're doing, right? But they don't know how it is unless they're in it. And I think I was a good damn mom. I was a bomb mom. But I was a mom raising a kid at 16. I was a kid raising a kid. And I raised him more so as my friend than I did as mother and child. So when I tried to step into the mother's shoes, it was a battle. The lines were already crossed, y'all. And I couldn't get him back in the line. I couldn't. To this day, like he is 38. My son is 38 years old. Gonna be 39 in a month. Wow. Right? Gonna be 39 in a month. And he's just learning. Why? Because he is a father of 3. And even when he was a father of 2, he didn't get it. Okay? He was that kid I did not like. So I get it. So for all the parents that's out there feeling guilty because they don't like their motherfucking teenagers, don't feel guilty. We didn't say you didn't love them. We didn't say that you're not taking care of them. You don't like them motherfuckers for reasons. But then there's the flip side. Then there's the moms who don't like their kids because jealousy and other things. There's a flip side to that, y'all. You know, there's a lot of parents that don't like their kids for other reasons other than you can have a great kid. And sometimes the parent could be jealous. That's a different type of dislike. That's a different type. Who's had a parent on here that they think was jealous of them? Anybody have parents? And I know this is a hard question. This is a hard fucking question. I have experienced some people in my life that have had relationships with their moms that was very toxic. And a lot of times it was because their mothers were jealous of them. It's possible, y'all. It's very possible to have parents jealous of you. And that's a different dislike. You could be the best kid. You could be a superstar. They just not gonna like you because of issues of their own. Fire One said, I'm going through the same thing with my son. He's 18. Damn, Fire One. Listen, baby, I pray for you. One of the things is, you know, I was always the youngest one. I was the one with the kid, and everybody used to get on me. And they used to make me feel like shit. I used to feel like I was the worst mom in the world. And I knew deep down inside I was a great mom. Like I was that mom. My kid was always with me. Nobody raised my kid. I worked and I provided for my kid. I wasn't always perfect, but I did what I could do. But I made sure my kid knew I'm your mom and we're going to rock this shit out together. We're going to... Right? And so when my son got older, I thought the same energy that I put into him, he was going to put into me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we going to rock this out together, Ma. I thought the shoe was going to turn. I was still rocking it out for him and still rocking it out for him and still rocking it out for him. And I was just sitting out there on the sidelines, dealing with all kinds of disrespect. I didn't like that motherfucker. And it hurt me. You know, I said something, and I'm going to admit this on Coffee with Friends because Coffee with Friends is my healing platform, right? And so I have to be true to my healing journey. And I'm going to share something with y'all publicly. And it's not going to be nice, y'all. And some of y'all might look at me sideways, but this is my truth. This is my truth. There were plenty of days when I was going through the worst with my son that I said, Lord, if a bus hit him and I had to bury my son, I promise y'all I said this. I was like, at least I would know where he's at. I swear to God, I said that. I lived with that guilt for a long time. And I thank God that nothing happened to my son. But that was the deep, dark place that I was at with it. I was so defeated, so drained, boxed in the darkness of it all, raising this teenager. This ain't even the topic I brought to the table, but I know this topic so well. And I said that. And I remember the first time I admitted this out loud to somebody, it hurt me. It did. But this is my truth. That's how I felt. Do I want that to really happen to him today? No. But at that time in my life, at that dark period in my life, I was almost homeless many a times, right? I have gone hungry many a days raising a child. And so when my son became the reckless teenager, I was like, damn, yo, I came through the fire of the pits with you. And you still got me down here burning. I felt like that. And I'm going to tell you no lie. It wasn't until my son was in his 20s. And anybody that knows me, they know they could never tell me that my son couldn't live in my house. But it got to a point where I had to close my eyes and say no. It was like this. The metaphor when I say I had to put garlic on the door to keep my son away. That's just the metaphoric phrase that I'm using. But I literally said no, no more. And he slept in his car for like 2-3 months. Very nice car. He was driving an Infinity, y'all. Don't feel that bad for him, right? But he slept in his car for about 2 or 3 months, and I cried each night. But I wanted to be free, y'all. I wanted to be free, right? And to this day, I'm glad. I don't know if it was him sleeping in his car for 2 or 3 months, but he changed. He's still changing. He's still evolving. He's still got a long ways to go, but he's not homeless. He's got a good job. He pays his own bills. I'm free, y'all. I'm finally free. That took a lot. And so I admit that to y'all today because any parent out there that's not liking their teenage kid and dealing with the guilt, I know what that's like. I know what that's like. Pat said, Robin, you were young enough so that he could not put anything over on you. So it must have been stressful for him. Maybe. Hey, Mercedes, good morning. Hey, Lulu Bells. Kiss the Boy says, a teen working 2 jobs may have the attitude of an adult from the stress. That's true too. And school. Don't forget, Kiss the Boys. She's working 2 jobs and she goes to Rutgers. I was like, whoo, shit. Mm. You're welcome, Mercedes. That shit is hard for me because I don't want nobody to think I wanted my son. But I went through a dark period in my life, y'all. That was hard. Like I'm feeling that right now. I'm still feeling the guilt of that right now as I said it. So I know that I'm still and I feel like my eyes watering a little bit because nobody wants to think that about their kids, y'all. For real. But that was the place I was at. And that's why I get so emotional when it comes to my kid because I've been through it. Kiss the Boy says, I know my kids are gonna smoke because I was by 15. Listen, my son been smoking weed. My dad been smoking weed. My dad, when we were growing up, weed was like cigarettes, right? They smoked weed. Like we walked around the house and my parents smoked weed. They did. They did. In the 70s, they smoked weed. They didn't say wait till the kids go to fuck the bed. They didn't say we're gonna get these smell-proof boxes and travel cases. Nah. They woke up and fucking smoked weed. They were drinking and smoking weed. We walked around the house like it was a cigarette. That's how I grew up. Veronica said, I don't give 2 fucks if she works 2 jobs. You are still living in this house. You don't have to like me, but you need to respect me. I'm West Indian. My parents would have blown my back out. We say West Indian, but I know some West Indians that got lazy ass kids living in their house, scratching their ass and driving their mamas crazy too. Right? The old ways, Veronica Madison Beauty, are not the old ways anymore. People not beating their kids. Like when I used to get beat with the belt. No, who? When's the last time somebody beat their kid with the belt on here? Let's not lie. Be honest. See, when we were growing up, I was afraid of my mom. If she looked at me, I was like, I'm gonna get that ass beat, so I better shut the fuck up. Right? When I looked, my dad called my name a little bit too strong. I was like, I better shake the fuck up. These kids know you ain't doing shit. These kids know all you got is mouth. So they gonna give you the double up. Some of these kids gonna be like, fuck that. What they gonna do? Yell at me? Right? It's different times, Veronica Madison. This is not even about being West Indian or about being American. When's the last time somebody beat their kid? None of my grandkids get beat. Right? None of them. Where we doing that? So these kids, what they scared of? Getting yelled at? I'ma get yelled at. The fuck? Okay? Madison said you have to get in their butt as a toddler. Can't wait until they are teenagers. They've already decided who they are and who you are. They figured out what they can get over with, right? Glamour said, my kids are grown now, thank God, because if I had to raise him and these times, it'll be different ball game for me. But in short, we are not our only kids' influence. We have social media. We have their friends, but social media plays a large role in how they are now, how to dress, how to look, hair, etc. Us as adults can see the pitfalls of it, but some minds are not strong enough to see. And if they hear one thing enough times, they will believe it to be true. And then the parents become crazy or we don't know what the fuck we are talking about. Woo! That's a word. That's a word. That's the other thing, right? And so when I was raising my son, everybody, not everybody, but, I walked around thinking that people were going to think I was the shittiest mother. And so there were triggers, I had triggers. One of my triggers was when people said, her kid is fucked up because she's a bad parent. Whoa, wee! I used to want to fight. Like when somebody said that kid must got fucked up parents because they bad, I was like, yo, baby, don't call me a bad parent. I was a good parent. I was a good parent with the shit that I had, the skills that I had. I thought that I did the best that I could. What the fuck is a good parent? Somebody define a good parent, and why are so many people first out the box to blame the parent for how raggedy their kids are? Like Glamour said, there's other influences for our children. Why the mother get blamed? Like when K Michelle came out with that song, right? What was the name of that song? You can't raise a man, right? His mama done fucked him up or some shit. I love that song, and I was singing it. And one day I said, "Hold up, wait a minute." I know my son ain't the best boyfriend. He wasn't. He wasn't the best boyfriend, baby daddy back then, right? And so I'm singing this song, but I'm like, it ain't my fault. The fuck? Stop blaming the parents. It's not always the parents. Thank you, Glamour 47, for that injection. Okay, Mercedes said, you had to trust yourself. You gave him opportunities to learn and to practice the values you believed in. You have to trust that your child will remember all those lessons when you send them on their way. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cheryl Lee said, tough love can be traumatic and just as hurtful to you too when you have to execute it to our children. Yes. Yeah. Wow. Callie said, I agree. You can love your kids and dislike their behavior. There is a distinct difference. There is. And everybody that knows me know I love my son. Don't fuck with him. But I have cried many nights. Not no silent tears. I mean, them ugly cries where you make noise and shit, your mouth be open and snot running out your nose. I'm going to tell you no lie. I thank God for the fact that my son is 38, living and breathing. You don't know what we've been through. You don't know. I thank God that he is 38, living and breathing. I do. Tally said, I'm that ride or die parent. I go hard for mine because that's the only way I know to be. That's how I was raised. So I don't know no different. Right. Right. And my son could be wrong, but I'm out there rolling in the hay with him. Like, you're just not going, you know. I remember, true story, living in Sparta. My ex-fiance, he's OCD, and he has he's structured. I'm gonna call it that. He's structured. And so, we didn't wear shoes in our house. We still don't, right? Well, I'm single, but we didn't wear shoes in our house. And so my son and my ex at the time, they didn't really like each other. They were tolerating each other. Now, as my son got older, I didn't even know that they still talked, text each other, talked, whatever, shared a relationship. I was shocked. Okay. But when we were together, they didn't like each other. Baby, one particular night I was out in Brooklyn. I got a call, and on one phone I was hearing Bumbaras Clot, Bumbaras Clot. And I was like, oh my God, the Jamaican is mad. Then I had the other phone. You better get this motherfucker. This nigga gonna get. And then I had my son. I had the motherfucker and the nigga on one, and I had the Bumba Ross Clot on the other side. And I was like, fuck it. I ran, jumped in my car, drove from Brooklyn. I called Coach Donovan this night. Coach Donovan, these are true stories. And I said, can my son come to your house until I get home and figure out what the fuck is going on? Right? And Coach was like, no problem. He can come over, right? My son went there. I get home. My ex, well, at the time he wasn't. He was loading black garbage bags and putting them in the garage, in our garage. When I hit the garage bay door, when I'm pulling in to come into my garage bay, I see him coming out with these big black bags. I parked my car. I flew out of my car, jumped out. I don't give a fuck what happened. I'm carrying the black bags back in the house. He throwing the black bags out the house, and we back and forth, and we back and forth. And finally I said, I will call 9-motherfucking-11. What the fuck we doing? You're not putting my son out. Okay? I'm carrying these motherfucking black bags back. I don't give a fuck what happened. I don't give a fuck what happened. I pay bills here too. This my son. Okay? I'm carrying the black bags back in the house. I was like, I will call fucking 911. Because what the fuck is the problem? Okay? Eventually the bags got back in the house. Okay, you wasn't putting my son out. Both of y'all got black eyes. Both of y'all gonna sit the fuck in this house and figure the fuck out what's going on. It was rough. Child, I wanted to give it all up. I wanted to give it all up. But whether and the fight was over the fact that my son came in the house, went to run up the stairs, forgot to take his sneakers off. So of course my ex said something, and my son, and it just popped off, and the swinging happened, right? I wasn't home. Okay? But I don't give a fuck. You're not putting my son out. I'm the only one that got the ability to put my motherfucking kid out. True story. Facts. Okay? That's a true story. Now, I mean, we could talk about, your relationship and your kids. That wasn't his father. He didn't have to put up with the shit. He could have just quit me, and I'd have been okay with that. I'm not picking no man over my kid. No. I'm not picking no whole man over my kid. And I loved my man at the time. But this is my kid. I don't care. I'm going to have to ride this fucking battle with this kid I don't like, but I love. Heart to Fire said, no, my mom loved me unconditionally. Okay, my mother's being quiet. My mother's being quiet. Ma, you can tell them you didn't like me. It's okay. I understand. I had a smart ass mouth, but I was a good kid. But I was one of them kids that I was not in the street. I didn't do drugs. I was a school kid. And so if you were living raggedy, I talked about your ass. And I didn't like a lot of my mother's friends. And so my mouth was raggedy. So even though she thought I was a good kid, I wasn't completely in touch with her lifestyle. And so I always had something to say about it. Okay, so we clashed that way, right? And so I think she just didn't like it because my mouth was a little bit off rocket. Ma, you could tell the truth here. Tell the truth. Um, Coach said, I love all my boys, but I hated every last one of them at some point. Usual age 12 to 18, baby. It's okay, Coach Donovan. We all been there. Well, not all of us, but I know I've been. You've witnessed my life with my son. Okay, I admitted something very hurtful to y'all today on the phone, on this live. And I said this to one other person just recently. And that person, when I confided that this is how I felt at one point with my son, when I was raising my son, they told me they felt the same way about their kid. How many people around here feel this way? You'd be surprised. You would be fucking surprised. Kiss the Boy says, I think me and my youngest will get along better when she is an adult. She doesn't like to be told what to do. Ever since she was a baby, she didn't even want to be taught how to tie her shoes. She has always had her way. Okay. Tally said, this is so true, Glamour, about the influences on the outside. We have so many influences. We didn't have all these influences growing up. We didn't. We didn't. We certainly did not. Heart to Fire said, these selfish little bastards believe we as parents have no feelings and are extremely ungrateful. Agree. Agree. Okay? That's why to this day, one of the things I fight with my son with to this day is, and you know, even when I'm dating, there are things that are important to me, right? My birthday. Don't fucking miss my birthday. Even my son, if my son missed my birthday and he don't make an effort to get me a card or a gift, my feelings are hurt. My man, if you my man, don't forget my birthday. That could cause us problems. Don't forget my birthday. That's important to me. And it could be petty to somebody else, but what's petty to you may not be petty to me. We are different. We are different. And you have to respect the things that are important to me. Okay? Christmas. I cuss my son out. You do me wrong for Christmas, I'm going to cuss you out. You my man, same thing. Valentine's Day, I give my son a pass, but not my man. If you my man, wish me a happy Valentine's Day. Do something. Say something. Even because come on, my friends even wish me a happy Valentine's Day. Right? Things that are important to me. Okay? I will get him. And my son is still struggling with some of these things. And it hurts my feelings because I feel like, damn, you should treat your mom like your mom treated you. I would think. Right? So, you know, these kids, these teenagers, like you said, so many external influences and shit. And they're just different. They're just different. Kiss the Boy said, I be crying for my little badass baby. She needs to be with her dad. Horrible daddy issues were surfacing. Wow. I know, girl. I cried plenty of nights too. Jello said, I loved my son. I took a lot from him until at 17, he raised his hand at me. He had to go and went to grandmom's, but you still couldn't tell me he was a bad son. I could say so much about our journey. Jello, listen, baby. I get it. That's the one thing I didn't experience. My son never raised a hand to me, but he yelled at me. And that's just as traumatizing. Like when we get to arguing, my son goes from 0 to 100. And when he gets up there to the roof, I have actually put him out of my house a couple of times. You know, like, it's time for you to go home. Bye. Bye, get out, leave. See ya. Right? Because I can't take it. The yelling, it's toxic and it's abusive. Why are you yelling at your mom? I don't even yell at my mom. And when I do, I feel bad. Like sometimes when I do stuff to my mom, I'll come back and be like, I ain't mean it, mom. Right? Tally said, my son just turned 23 and says, I ask too many damn questions. My daughter gets questions too, but answers with no hesitation. Like they don't realize how blessed they are to have parents who care, period. Period. Veronica said, these kids are fearless. Because why? What they got to fear? I smell bacon. I must be having a craving. And I don't even eat bacon. I smell pork bacon. And I don't eat pork bacon. Only when I go to my mother's house, I eat a piece or two. Jello said, no one loved him more than I did. And I just told my son, I will support you anytime, any day, but I don't have bail money. A couple of times he ended in jail. He ended up in jail. I wouldn't bail him out. He's found a way at the end. I know about that jail shit. I woke up in the middle of the night, plenty of nights. I called my girlfriend and be like, I need $2,000 to go bail my son out of jail. She wake up and be like, come get the money. I swear, these are stories. I drove up to Valhalla, pick his ass up one night. But first I had to go to Brooklyn and get this $2,000. And I was living in South Brunswick. So I left South Brunswick, drove to Brooklyn to get this $2,000 from a girlfriend. Then drove all the way back up to Westchester and sat outside the jail for 3 hours. That didn't count where you had to stop and pay the bail because you had to pay the bail at a different location. These kids. I get it, Jello. Yoga Girl Side said, I was never spanked or hit by my parents. I just didn't want to feel shame. To me, that was the worst. I was an energetic kid, but weren't that problematic with my parents. Nice. Tammy said, my 13-year-old and that attitude in caps, she never puts down that cell phone, and it's war when I tell her to do so. You can't even beat your kids or give them a quick slap because they are quick to call 911. The difference in the times, right? Because shit, when I was growing up, the fuck, we got beat. The fuck, whatever you got, the shoe, the belt, the whip, the cord. You listen, we were scared that our parents were gonna roll up to the school and whip our ass on school property. They didn't give a fuck. Okay. When I knew I was in trouble, the first thing I said was, oh my God, I'm gonna get a beating. I would go home begging, Mom, please don't beat me. Right? And now today, that's called abuse. Madison said, my 1-year-old grandchildren already know my looks, and she know, pow, pow. My grandson is 9. If I say I'm counting to 3, he knows that means 2. You have to let them know who the boss is. Uhu said, I drove my dad crazy and my mom. I stayed with my dad after they divorced. My dad gave me that look. If I did something wrong or breathed the wrong way, he hit me with his fist. Damn a belt. I'm telling you, the fuck? My mom, wait, I got to go find Uhu. Okay, Uhu, I don't know if you finished your comment below, but if you did, I'll catch it back then. Jello said he was my best friend. I know, Jello. That's how I felt about my son. He was my everything. He was. He was my best friend. I asked him why he smoked. He said it calmed him. I didn't judge. I told him to use organic weed because you don't know what's in the other stuff. Yes. Right? Like, my son was my everything. He's not my everything anymore. I had to un-everything that shit. But he used to be my everything. I was a very needy mom. I'm not a needy mom no more. Things still hurt my feelings to this day, but, and I let him know when my feelings are hurt, and then I move on. That's it, and that's all, right? And I give the same energy that people give me now. That's it. Yoga Girl said, but that's my option of me. My parents might think otherwise. Okay, I got it. I know, Jello, and I'm catching it. Tammy said, calling 911 on your parents is the new thing with these kids now. Thank you. Thank you for that. I think I can import desensitize because they don't fully understand what having police involved can affect you. Well, this is the thing. This is what I used to say. Call a popo. I'm going to whip your ass till they get here. And then when they take you and put you in foster care and they put me in jail, say la vie. Because we all gonna suffer after that. The fuck? Okay? Because I don't know too many family members that was gonna stand up and say, I'm gonna take care of him. Right? Because not none of them was standing up offering to take care of him when he was living and breathing. And not none of them was standing up offering to come visit his ass when he was locked down in jail. So I told him plain and clear. Look the fuck around, sir. Call 911. Because ain't no other family members coming for you. I'm it. I'm all you got. Ain't nobody else showing up. They ain't been showing up. They ain't gonna show up now when you end up in foster care. Period. True facts. He got his shit. He ain't never called no cops on me. Because I'm like, we all go. I'm ready. You ready? Because we both going. The fuck? Kiss the Boy said, I have found that you can't beat the personality out of someone. Some people aren't deterred by anything. Negative and positive results have no bearing on their decisions. They simply do what the fuck they want to do. Tammy said, typo. I think these kids are desensitized. Okay, got it now. When it comes to calling the authorities, because they know they have rights. And yep, they know they have rights. Hey, the General. Heart to Fire said the schools and her workplace, and praise me for doing a good job in raising her. Yes, Heart to Fire. Yes, you did your shit. Your daughter is in college, two jobs. That's a testament to you, right? Tally said, listen, I was just talking to someone the other day. This is in the Bible. Generation X will be wiser but weaker. That is so true. Some of these kids can't deal with stuff we had to deal with at all. One of the things my son, and it is 9:06, and I got to end this shit because I got meetings today. But one of the things that my son says to me to this day, Ma, everybody ain't like you. I had to realize that. I expected him to be able to handle everything in life the way I handled it, right? But obviously, he has said to me in so many ways that he can't, right? And so that's interesting, Tally. Kiss the Boy said, because that pleases them. I parent my children the same for the most part, but I parent them differently because they act differently. One gets yelled at for not cleaning all the time because she never cleans. Her sister, I never yell at for cleaning because she just does. The General said, I only got an 8-year-old, but it's probably going to be a challenge for my wife when she starts the flag football next month. Right. But you were a teenager, the General. You know what being a teenager is like. It's not just about you having a teenager, right? Kiss the Boy says, the messy one thinks I treat her different. No, hun, it's you. You act differently. I would yell at anyone who makes me clean after them. Hey, Michelle Haley. My mother says she always loved me. Oh, that's so sweet, Ma. Thank you. I thought there was a point you didn't like me, though. See how I just assumed? Wow. Now that's touching. All right. That's touching. Hey, Kamari 1X. Yeah, she really didn't like my lifestyle. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't like the lifestyle. I did. And you were enjoying life. You were. Damn famous. Well, I didn't like it because I was worried. I was like one of them adult kids. Like, I didn't go out in the street, so why were you out there? The fuck? Right? Veronica said, we are so alike. Birthdays are important to me. That's a deal breaker, as we talked about. Yep. Don't fucking skip my birthday. And Mother's Day, like my son, he fucked up on Mother's Day. I was mad, hurt, upset. I let him know how I felt too. I didn't give a fuck. Mother's Day, you better recognize me. I was knocking on doors, feeding your ass. I was starving. I didn't send you to foster care. I raised your ass. Can you just hook your mama up on Mother's Day and say you appreciate me and you love me? That's important to me. I don't give a fuck. Somebody else could say I'm petty. I don't give a fuck. Mother's Day is important to me, and my son should recognize it. And if I have a man in my life, I want him to recognize it too, to say, I'm a good mama. The fuck? Damaris said, I don't hit my 16-year-olds. I just start taking things away and ground their ass. Who can hit a 16-year-old? I remember when I slapped my son a couple of times at 16 when I found out he was having my first gram. He just looked at me. He was like, please stop hitting me. I was like, the fuck is going on? That's when I knew. What the fuck are you doing? Jello said, love your children. You don't have to like them, but you must love them. Doctor said he died at 422. I said, no, he died at 421 because I knew my son. Wow. Sorry. Wow, my throat get dry from all this talking. The pain of his absence is eternal for me. Love them. Jello, wow. Wow, Jello. That's deep. Who said my mom used a wooden spoon. I'm still hard-headed, though. You said she used a wooden spoon. That was a thing back in the day. Glamour said, at Tally, you are so right. Wiser but weaker indeed. They picking up guns instead of throwing hands, killing each other, and calling the cops. Because you know what I said I miss in the 70s and 80s, right? I miss motherfuckers just going to fight and going home with their lumps and the bumps. Okay? So, these new days, these new babies, they calling the cops and shit. They not built for what we went through, right? But y'all, this was Coffee with Friends. Do you like your motherfucking teenagers? This was the topic today, y'all. And when Hearts of Fire, normally I don't tell who contributes the topic unless they say. But y'all know Hearts of Fire. She wanted to talk about this. She jumped on and she gave her story about liking teenage children. When she said to bring this topic to the table, I knew. I felt it. I was like, all right, because I've had my journey and I know exactly what this feels like. Okay? I didn't like my teenager. I love him. Nobody could fuck with him, but I didn't particularly like him. One Reliable Sin said, I have a whole live 17-year young daughter, great girl all around, but I get on her ass. Started when she was young. Till this day, she has her moments, but she's such an old soul. Beautiful. So you like and love her. That's nice. Well, y'all, this was Coffee with Friends, and y'all know I am raw to the bone. It's nice to be able to come on Coffee with Friends and unpack some things. That's what Coffee with Friends is here for, right? This is one of those things that I created during the pandemic to appease my anxieties, right? I was, very anxious, going through some things, needed to unpack a lot of things, realized that I was in toxic situations, living through some toxic situations that I needed to adjust, focus on, and start my healing journey. And so I started Coffee with Friends. And so y'all, every now and again, y'all are going to get some true depth, some true shit that is deep, okay, from me. That happened in my life for real. And Hearts of Fire contributed this topic. Do you like your teenage children? But it gave me the opportunity to share my journey with you as well. Again, I said, I'm going to start my storytelling journey soon, which means that maybe once a week or once every other week, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to unpack a true story, something that had happened to me in my life that has triggered me, to realize that I need to heal from a lot of shit, right? I appreciate y'all joining Coffee with Friends. I do. Let me see what the hell we're going to go out with today. You know what? I'm not going to play any music because I don't want this particular live stream to get messed up on IG, right? Because this was such a good topic. I want to make sure that we keep this topic on. Have a good day also, Yogi Girl Side. Ooh, I appreciate you guys joining. Okay, good. Thank you. Ooh, I'm having ginger tea today. No coffee because I don't have cream. So I got to go with ginger tea today, right? And so I do appreciate you guys joining and not judging, right? That's the one thing. A lot of these stories and things that we share on here, a lot of our truths, it's easy to judge, but try not to, right? I mean, I find myself judging every now and again. Then I have to go, Robin, don't do that. Remember, right? We are all living through this thing called life, right? And there's no how-to book as to how to get through all these various experiences that we go through. And so many people out there look at other people and they just judge them based on the information they think they know. We got to do better, people. Start loving up on your brothers and sisters, all right? And with that, this was Coffee with Friends. And I'm raw to the bone, and I'm the fuck out, y'all. Peace.
Months. I dare you to shut out the world. I dare you to shut out all
the distractions. I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream.
If you have a dream, don't just sit